Did the spirit send you to help Kisaravi? What did she say? My apologies. Kisaravi hoped you heard the spirit too. The spirit protects Akaviri relics in the Tomb of the Serpents. She wants Kisaravi to share their secrets with the world, but the tomb is too dangerous. She won't let me leave without them. Spirit may not be correct. Entity, a goddess perhaps. The one who protects the tomb while wrapping her arms around Kisaravi's mind. Will you retrieve the Akaviri relics? Otherwise their secrets will be trapped here forever, along with Kisaravi. Thank you, stranger. Kisaravi hopes you will be the one to pass the spirit's test and retrieve the Akaviri relics. She's sure you won't end up like the others. Years ago, Khajiit allowed displaced Akaviri to bury their dead in Khajiiti tombs. So many Akaviri were buried here that they renamed it Tomb of the Serpents. The Akaviri placed armor and relics alongside their dead. The spirit watches over all. Curiosity, arrogance, greed. Kisaravi wanted to unlock the Akaviri's secrets, to use their knowledge and steal their power, to sell their relics to the highest bidder. Selfish desires brought Kisaravi here, but the spirit's message made her stay. Some say their ancestors were eaten by a race of vampiric serpents. Others say they were merely captured. They are said to be resistant to poison and fierce in battle. Some say they even enslaved dragons. Their relics will tell us what is true. I never saw her, but I felt her. Her words opened something within me, a sense of purpose, belonging, love. I don't remember her words, but I can't forget her message. When I share the relics with the world, you will understand. Everyone will. Thank you, stranger. Kisaravi hopes you will be the one to pass the spirit's test and retrieve the Akaviri relics. She's sure you won't end up like the others. Wake from your sleep. Preserve our legacy. Destroy the outsider.
Belong to the Akaviri.
the Akaviri relics! Did the spirit speak to you? Ah, the Akaviri spirit has blessed you. Kisaravi can tell. How else would you have succeeded where Kisaravi has failed? Please accept this gift and the spirit's blessings. Kisaravi knew that she would meet someone brave enough to enter the tomb, strong enough to pass the spirit's test, and wise enough to accept her protection and never question her voice. Kisaravi knew because the spirit told her. The spirit wants Kisaravi to share the Akaviri relics with Tamriel. They possess a magic we can't understand, a magic that will spread her influence and protect us all. The spirit will soon live in everyone's minds, and it will all be thanks to you. For some, it is the key to unlocking ancient secrets and lost magic. For others, it is a reminder of why some things are better left unknown. The spirit has spent years watching the dead in this tomb, stranger. She's ready to see more.
There must be a bug.
I expected sorrow and despair, but the situation here goes beyond even my prophetic inklings. On the surface, yes, but peace through tyranny provides false harmony. Euraxia uses fear and threats of violence to keep the Khajiit in line, making them second-class citizens in their own province. It appalls me to think Euraxia and I are related. It would be better if I showed you. Follow me and I'll demonstrate the true depths of my half-sister's villainy. Her grip on Rimmen is far tighter than it appears. Very well. But what I'm about to show you isn't for the faint of heart. Follow me. Have you ever visited a Rimmen workhouse? They treat the Khajiiti workers worse than slaves.
Have you heard about the dragon sightings in Elsweyr? Multiple for dragons. Dark moons, one dragon is bad enough.
More than her. This one saw a dragon the other day. This one still shudders at the
It's
thought
that
of
building over there.
experience.
For most of Rimmond's Khajiit, it's the only job available to
They
them.
came from the walls of Colossus, flew out, roaring.
The workhouse serves to snare the poor and the destitute, those who fall behind on their debts. They come here to find employment and earn a decent wage, but the costs deducted to pay for room and board leave them worse off than they were before. One of the first things Euraxia did after declaring herself queen was to institute tariffs and fines that apply only to Khajiiti citizens. No one else needs the workhouse. A cruel tactic, but effective. The Rimmen Khajiit? No. Any complaints incur fines for causing a public disturbance or some other inane ordinance. No one wants to risk falling even further into debt. It's ingenious. Monstrous, but ingenious. Oh, Euraxia is clever. She pays the Khajiiti, and the workhouse isn't technically a prison. On the surface, it appears to be a place that helps society's unfortunates, but underneath, it's slavery without any of the uncomfortable trappings. Now, let's visit the Rimmen marketplace. Take a look around. Business seems to be thriving, but appearances can be deceiving. It may be hard to see, but the Khajiiti merchants struggle to keep their stalls open, while the less bestial business people rake in the profits. Euraxia would have you believe it's a matter of work ethic, but we know better. Unfairly doesn't begin to cover it. Khajiiti merchants must deal with high tariffs, extra inspection fees, costly licenses. Euraxia's squeezing them for every piece of gold imaginable. She even instituted a fur tax. On the surface, it seems reasonable to make Khajiiti pay for extra inspections to ensure their fur isn't getting into the products they sell. And while they do shed, it's just another way to discriminate against the rightful citizens of this land. Come along. I want to show you the improvements Euraxia made to the palace walls. See the trebuchets? Notice how they're aimed into the city below. See how the siege weapons sit upon the walls? When it comes right down to it, you're looking at the secret of my half-sister's success. How else do you think Euraxia maintains order and keeps the Elsweyr defense force at bay? She declared publicly and has repeated often that any attempt to liberate Rimmen will see her unleash the full fury of the siege weapons upon the city. If Euraxia can't have Rimmen, then neither can anyone else. She'd destroy the city in a heartbeat if she thought she was in danger of losing control. Of course, she tells her non-bestial subjects that only the Khajiiti districts are targeted. Absolutely not. But the lie makes her supporters feel better. The Khajiit know that even a peaceful protest could result in the destruction of Rimmen. So far, no one has dared to challenge Euraxia's will in this matter, and for good reason. When we get to the palace, let me do the talking. As the Elder Tharn, I'll demonstrate my dominance over Euraxia and negotiate a cessation of hostilities.
Ah, here come Queen Euraxia's guests now.
I don't like the looks of these meddlers. I say we feed them to the dragons and be done with it. I know you. I saw you through the soul-shriven's eyes. You were with the fool who thinks himself the shining knight of Sirad. If only he knew what a monster I was. The horrors of Cold Harbor pale before my heinous deeds. I am my own head, yes. I am the hero of Sirad and the villain of Elsweyr, the champion of the Third Nedic Massacre and the Dark Knight they call the Betrayer. Of course not, I am the genuine article, much more real than a disembodied soul given shape in the flesh cauldrons of oblivion. But why do you presume to talk to me? I have killed greater beings than you for much, much less. Came to that conclusion by yourself, did you? That's what they called me. It has a certain ring to it, but I always preferred my more grandiose titles. Champion, Slayer, Dark Knight. When I'm made whole, the cats will pay for what they did to me.
So you're Abner Tharn's bodyguard and valet. Not what I expected. I assume you want to follow your master into the Queen's inner sanctum, huh? I'll allow it. But first, I want to gauge the measure of your marrow. I am Queen Euraxia's chief necromancer. You may call me Zumog Foom. The other grave callers answer to me. And this is my familiar and confidant, Sir Cadwell the Betrayer. Ah, yes. The Betrayer saw you when it looked through the soul-shriven's eyes. The creature you know is a pale shadow of the Dark Knight that once walked these lands. I exhumed his remains and reanimated him. Well, his head, it was all I could find. My actions don't concern you. I just wanted to meet Abner Tharn's lackey and determine if Queen Euraxia had anything to fear. The answer is quite clear. Your insignificance rivals that of the soul-shriven fool, which makes you eminently forgettable.
Now about the rest of my body, O pestilent one.
Your insults won't hasten the process, betrayer.
But there's a terrible draft in what used to be my nether regions.
Presenting Abner Tharn, Grand Chancellor and Overlord of Nibene, Imperial Battle Mage of the Elder Council, and Patriarch of the Tharn Dynasty, and his bodyguard.
Ah, brother, your arrival, it's so unexceptional.
Pretending to be a queen is...
Hush, Abner, you bore me. Bodyguard, you look interesting. Come talk to me.
You heard her. Good luck.
My sources indicated that my son's murderer was somewhat taller. Ah, well. Now, why in the world should I even consider negotiating with the monster who murdered my dear Javad? A warning? How thoughtful. You do know that I defeated the Khajiiti army and took control of the Rimmon throne? I am no one's puppet, I assure you. But why do you suppose I have anything to do with dragons? Sweet talk? From an associate of my half-brother? I'm flattered. Shall we retire to the dungeons? We'll engage in the most interesting activities, you and I. You'll positively beg for mercy right up until the end, and then I'll give you to Foom. Do not attempt to sway me with your silver tongue. Mulamnir and I have a special relationship, an understanding. The dragons will secure my hold over Elsweyr, and there's nothing you or my pathetic half-brother can do to stop them. Enough! Zumog Foom, what news do you bring?
The Desert Wind Adaptorium has fallen. We move against Riverhold on your word.
Then the word is given. Now, half-brother.
Treachery? How could I ever have anticipated this?
Guards, take them to the dungeons.
I think not. Well, I suppose that could have gone better. I prepared for Euraxia's probable betrayal. Unfortunately, my teleport spell wasn't quite able to penetrate the palace wards, so we wound up down here, in the palace sewer. We heard two things of note. First, Euraxian forces have invaded the Desert Wind Adaptorium for some insidious purpose, and second, my vile half-sister ordered an attack on Riverhold. One thing at a time, my companion, one thing at a time. I need to recover my strength after teleporting us into this skeever hole. I'll need your help to get out of here. Then we can deal with both Desert Wind and Riverhold. My age is finally catching up with me. Thank you so much for poking that open wound. Magic takes a toll on the body. I've been wielding powerful forces since before you were born. There's always a cost. You'd do well to remember that. Eventually. Quicker if you stop badgering me about it. My strength will return, it always does. Now get us out of this sewer so we can warn both Desert Wind and Riverhold.